and welcome back to another live episode of the Armchair Pundits podcast. As you can see, you got myself, James, you got Leon, you got Mons, you got Bevan. How you guys doing?
Yeah, man, all good.
All
All
good,
good.
bro. All good.
Okay, what's
Kind of
this
waiting
live
for the
number
season
two
to
for
start,
us?
man.
Number three?
Number three.
Number three, bro. Number three.
This is the first live that you're going to be in where you're not either
Oh, yeah, for
in
real.
dial-up or that you've made it.
And I
For
let
now,
everyone know,
touch
yeah.
wood, innit? Touch
I've
wood.
actually got my charger as well. I got my charger, so we're
Oh,
ready
so
to go.
the two of you do coexist, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so football is changing. That's the topic for today, and it's ever changing as always. So this week we'll be looking at some discussions on the managerial changes that we've seen this season through Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United, and the newest arrival, Newcastle. And we'll have a little chat about Rashford. He's back. Been given a new shirt number 14. And we'll see what our views are on him, and obviously Lamont's views, as he's the resident Man United fan. And we'll finish with the two competitive games. Tomorrow we have PSG versus Aston Villa in the Super Cup, and then on the weekend, I can't believe it's here already. Arsenal versus Man City in the Community Shield. So as always, get involved in the live chat. Tell us whether you agree, whether you disagree. Give us some pointers. Give us some advice. And if you're enjoying the show, please hit like, subscribe. And if you're not following, make sure you follow us on all other platforms as well. So, let's get started with the managers. So, first question for you guys. The managers are, for those who don't know, Iraola is at Liverpool, Maresca is at Man City, Chelsea have Alonso, Zerbi, he's not really new, but he's new. It's his first full season. Zerbi there. Man United, Carrick, again, he's been there for half a season, but it's his first full season. And Jaissle, I think that's how you say his name, has joined Newcastle since we last recorded. In fact, when we last recorded, we did actually say that the most under pressure manager
Yep.
was
Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe. And boy, before I even got a chance to put the actual show out in the morning, he was gone. So I was there in my car trying to post it quickly to get it out. But yeah, he's gone. But first question I'll ask you, which manager has inherited the best squad?
What a question, James. Like, you talk about team chemistry and stuff. There's a lot going on there, bro. I got to be honest. I mean, the longest serving manager is Arteta now, right? So he's sitting at the top of the food chain, as in, he's well established. I think
Longest serving at the club. We did have someone question us on
Bro.
TikTok. Longest serving at the club.
Pedantic or what, man? You know.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know.
you know a minute, yeah. Who's got the best squad? Boy, it might be it's probably Spurs.
Okay,
Zerbi.
Inherited.
Are you
Bro,
all right? Are you all right?
No. Stop.
You had a wobble, bro.
You're mocking me, bro. Why are you doing that? There's no need. Unprovoked attack. Let's not go there. We don't have a
Must be
strike
my
force.
dialogue.
The end. Start again. Go on. I'll give you another chance.
all right.
Spurs,
That one there, I was just testing if my dial-up was not dial-upping, so it's not. So, all right, okay, cool. I think this one is probably debatable though, James, to be honest, because there's so many moving pieces with teams needing to be rejuvenized. You got Liverpool; they're kind of they're doing loan deals that.
No, but
arguably some people
but you're
would
missing the
disagree
point.
with.
Who inherited the best squad?
Who had-
Not who's
yeah.
bought. Not who's bought. Who came into the job and that this is my squad. I've got the best squad. Who inherited the best squad?
I think it's between United and Chelsea,
I think Man City.
I think it's Man City.
Maresca.
Oh,
Man
Maresca.
City's
you know what?
got
Man
the best
City.
squad.
Sorry.
Maresca.
Maresca. For me,
I forgot about him.
he's
I forgot about him.
inherited the best squad.
My bad. I forgot about him. Yeah.
They've lost
Why,
Bernardo
Leo?
Silva, but he was on the way out anyway. Maybe Rodri. If Rodri goes, obviously it's a big change, but that's why they spent 100 and something million to replace him with a not as accomplished midfielder, but arguably as best that they could get right now.
Really though, I mean, Anderson, 100 mil to replace Rodri. Give me a
mad,
break, bro.
That's
It's
mad,
like
but
They still got Nico Gonzalez, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gonzalez is good. And
I mean,
going
better than-
forward, obviously he's not better than him, but going
better than
forward,
Anderson. I mean, better than Anderson
As in a Rodri role, maybe
in a 6.
it might be,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I guess Premier League Anderson and Premier League Gonzalez is a bit different to what we've seen of Gonzalez before he came. Like the Gonzalez before he came, he hasn't shown that level quite yet. And I guess it's hard when you've got Pep putting you in and out, in and out, in and out. Sometimes it's not easy to reach that standard. But I think player for player, I wouldn't say Anderson's better than him. Like ability for ability, I wouldn't say he's better than him. But he may have proved it more. But he was playing at a club with way less pressure with Nottingham Forest.
So we kind of saying that Maresca looks like he's number 1, and then slyly Alonso in number 2. Then, and then is that what we're saying here?
What's your views? Is Chelsea's squad better than the Liverpool squad that was inherited? Because people say,
I would say Chelsea's got a better squad than Liverpool. Yes,
I agree.
Squad wise, yes. I mean, they did addition by subtraction by getting rid of Garnacho. Let's be honest.
we just been subtracting.
Well, exactly. You've lost Salah. You've lost a few key guys, man.
I think you needed a
Still
lot.
waiting for injuries to come back. Connor Bradley, what's going on with him? Frimpong.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that you needed to go and sign another centre back as well because you couldn't trust Gomez.
Well, you got Araujo now. Hopefully, he doesn't do a madness that he had on a few occasions for Barca. He's got a little bit.
It'll be fine.
Crazy in him.
It'll be fine.
You think so?
Okay, so are we all saying that Man City that Maresca inherited the best squad in our opinions?
In my opinion, yeah.
So it's just between Chelsea. It's just between Chelsea and City. That's what we're saying, right?
No,
inherited. Yeah.
Because originally, I forgot about Maresca, I was saying it's between Chelsea and United.
No, it wouldn't be between Chelsea and United. It'd just be
No,
United.
but we're saying inherited the best squad.
Best
We're
squad,
not saying who's inherited the best chemistry or continuity. We're just saying in terms of talent, who's got the best squad to work with coming in.
It's for me. It's easily Maresca. Right before he stepped in the door, he's only lost one player of note, and that's Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo. They're trying to keep.
They came second. They came second, and he's only lost one player. So for me, it's definitely them. So I move on to the second question: who has the hardest job?
Boy.
As we're sitting here today, so now it's not from they walked in the door. As we're sitting here today on the 11th of August, who has the hardest job?
I think it's Xabi Alonso's got the hardest job. Only because his owners at Blue Coal, they get very, if he doesn't hit the ground running, they demand a lot. Yeah. He could be gone by Christmas. You never know.
They've given him what he wanted though. It's the first time they've gone away from their original plan though. Before, it's been hard for managers because they've been like, yeah, I don't care. You're going to do it and you're going to do it with kids. We don't, experience doesn't matter as far as we're concerned. We have a project and it's about winning with kids. Finally, I say finally because I don't want it to happen personally, but they've given him experience. Some, as you said last week, some of it is experience like, are they even going to play experience?
Yeah.
But it's experience.
Yeah, I think it depends if they're going to show impatience, right? Because all of those managers have got different amounts of pressure on them. I think in terms of expectations, I think Carrick has got the least amount of expectations on him. And I think
Jaissle might,
Jaissle might what?
Have the least expectation. He's come in like 2 weeks before the season starts.
Yes.
Yeah. Jaissle's got the least expectation. I definitely think... I think expectation is. I honestly think it depends on the fans. Like Carrick, had an amazing end to the season last season. Man United fans are going to expect him to be able to at least continue on that same path. Because if he doesn't, then it's going to seem like it's another Solskjaer who's come in, steered the ship in the right direction, and then as soon as you get the keys, kind of like the engine starts to go a little bit off the pace. So I think it all depends on the fans. What are the fans' expectations? What I think with Chelsea know, and Chelsea fans know that their club is in a bit of a mess because of Blueco and how they've handled things going forward. But if we're talking about fans' expectations, I know Liverpool are not going to be expecting to not be in the Champions League. Liverpool are not going to be expecting to compete for trophies. I think Iraola's probably got the hardest job because I think Liverpool have more things to sort out than maybe the other teams. So at the moment, pressure-wise, you could argue that it's Carrick and maybe Iraola. Man United and Liverpool are the biggest two sides in the UK, if we're talking about reputation and history. So
yeah,
so
you got
to go on, Bevan. Finish what you're saying. Finish why you thought Carrick has the easiest job.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of expectations, Carrick's expectations are going to be. I personally believe it's going to be to get Man United top 4, and based on how the league is at the minute, I believe that he could do that. I think that with the way that with Chelsea, no Champions League football, and the expectations of their fans, and the way that Blueco are, and the fact that they gave Alonso what he wanted, if he doesn't start delivering, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to get things moving and to get things going. I think Iraola, his job is that he's coming into a Liverpool that have won the league in the last couple of years, and it's almost they've got to deal with the rebuilding of losing Salah, and yeah, you've signed a winger, but it's difficult to fill those boots. And then they need to get a centre back as well, and then sort out the midfield. And if he doesn't hit the ground,
we've got one.
But yeah, I hear it. But if Iraola if he has problems going into the season, and he starts slow, then that is a big job for him to
He's
be
gonna
in.
start slow, Bevan. Though, remember we spoke about this on the last call. Yeah, remember we said when he was at Bournemouth, he was a very slow starter, bro. He's like a locomotive. Yeah, but don't get me wrong. When he gets going, it's hard to stop him because all his squad believed in what he was the principles that he was trying to put out there. Yeah. Are the Liverpool squad going to have that same belief in him coming from Bournemouth?
Yeah, I think they will.
Well, I mean, because you're talking from a Liverpool fan's perspective. You're not talking from just a perspective of, right, we've got some big names in there that will maybe feel like they're bigger than the manager. And if... No, let me land.
I'll let you finish.
If the results go in his favour, then by all means, you get on his, boat, you get in his car, he's at the wheel, you keep going. Similar to Carrick, he came in, he got a couple of wins under his belt. Anybody that had a little bit of a, will he, won't he? You got to get with it because he's getting results. So I'm looking at the camp at Liverpool. There's a little bit of disjointedness from the preseason, whether that was just for the media or whether it was just playful, whatever. But there's obviously a little bit of disharmony over there. Are they going to be able to kind of knock that on the head and focus on what Iraola is trying to put out there? I don't know, bro. But I'm telling you this now. You've got 5, probably 6 matches to kind of look like you actually got a grip of the squad. And if he doesn't, things could start to kind of wobble a little bit, I think.
See, I hear it. I get it. But I think the difference with where I disagree is the characters. The kind of players that we sign, those kind of characters aren't going to fold like that. They're not going to be like, we're bigger than the manager, so we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Listen, the players didn't really down tools last year. Some people say they did. They didn't really down tools last year. They were just poorly managed. They were very poorly managed towards the end of the season, but they carried on going. They carried on going despite the losses and the draws and the poor performances.
I can't agree with that, James. Because yourself, you came on here and said to us that their run map was half of what it was the preseason or the previous season. All right?
Yeah, it was because of what they've been asked to do. It's what they were tasked to do. It wasn't because they just decided not to run anymore. Because when you actually watch the games, they were running. It wasn't players pulling out of challenges and players saying, oh, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that. But the way we were set up last year was why our run meters were so poor. They were putting a shift in, like as they were asked to do, but just the application wasn't there because what he was asking to do just wasn't good enough. And we've now seen in the training sessions, everything was dialed down. Like it came out at the end of the season, players, we want to run harder. We want high intensity. I said it the other day, I think on our WhatsApp. They've asked for it, now they've got to do it. They all sat there, they liked the tweet and said, okay, we want old school club football back. Now you've got a manager that wants to bring that and maybe a bit more. So I think they'll be on board because a lot of them, that's the kind of football they wanted to play. So is it going to be hard for Iraola? Of course it will. It'll definitely be hard because circumstances, he's never managed in Europe. He's never, as Carragher said, he's never had to do okay, I'm in Europe on Wednesday, Saturday morning kickoff. What do I do? Do I rotate? Do I do that? So in that regards, yes, I think he's probably got the toughest job because he's doing something he's never done before. Whereas all the others are doing some things they've done before. They're not out of their comfort zone, so to speak. You might say yes, it is, but again, I think he's at the bottom of the scale anyway. I don't think there's much pressure because his team's been gutted. So it's now a case of, okay, do what you can do. And if you can get us here, then fantastic. If you can't, then we'll give you more money in January and next season. But for Iraola, it's a case of we're not going to sack you at the end of the season, but at the same time, you got to look competitive. You got to look competitive. Yeah. You'll get your 2 years, but we want to see something. And that's what the fans will be like. And I think I said last week, in terms of signings, if we don't get the signings that the fans believe he should be getting, then our expectations will lower. It will go towards FSG. Why haven't you given this new manager what he needs to succeed?
So question,
if he gets given the tools, it's a bit different.
All right, so question. Who asked to get Slot out then? Was it the fans or was it the board that got him out?
I think the fans in the end, the fans turned on him in the end.
So he went from being a Premier League winner to still getting Champions League and not winning Premier League, yeah? And then they just got shot of him. In terms of the grace that you're just trying to give an example of, I feel like that's a little bit fabricated because just in that example there, he's come in off the back, won the league straight away. Everyone on here was saying, oh no, it's not Klopp ball, it's Slot. You know, he's in his own way of playing. And I was like, bruh, it's the same team. He's just gone and done the exact same thing, whatever. He does it the next season. He falls way short of all of that.
But why? You're forgetting the point. You're forgetting the point of why he got rid of. I said it already. If it's the football, the fans turned on him because they weren't happy with what they're seeing. If the fans aren't happy with what they're seeing, managers will go. And that's what happened. The football was slow. Our running meters were slow. Fans were booing. Fans don't boo managers at Anfield. That doesn't happen. Rian Gamoa asked to get subbed. He asked to get subbed, and the fans booed. Remember, you said it yourself. He asked to get subbed because he was feeling it, and the fans booed. And realistically, it was the right sub to make because he wasn't running anymore. But the fans themselves spoke, and when they said they were going to have a review, when they did a review at the end of the season, it was okay. If we give him what he wants, is he going to bring back what the fans want? And it was a no. He wasn't going to give the high intensity football. Sometimes it's just not a good mesh. And I think when they sat down, they're like, it's not a good mesh. Thank you for what you've done. You've got us a title, number 20. Cool. We're level with Man United again.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving. So we're not all agreed. But Leon, who did you say was the hardest job?
I said Iraola.
Yeah, Iraola. Okay, so, okay, cool. So the last one, who will change their team style the most, if anyone? probably Iraola, if I'm being completely honest. But if anyone, but it could be Alonso if he goes to a back three.
It'll be Alonso for sure because he's gonna go back three, bro.
He hasn't done it in pre-season though.
He's not really done it in pre-season.
Yeah, pre-season. I've been watching. I think the last game he might have. I think the last game he went to a back three, but he hasn't really done it.
Did you say Arbeloa? Arbeloa for Fulham? We haven't seen him.
He's new in it.
Yeah, he's spanking new. So he's got a point to prove. Getting booted out of Real Madrid, but then he's taken 3 of the under-21s with him and said, "Yeah, let's see how this one works."
that never bodes well. You know that never bodes well because you get that whole they're favourites. If he puts them straight into the squad and straight into the team, then it's the whole favouritism business. Like we had that. Well, I say we had that. Klopp's old manager, he had that when he went to Salzburg, and the players didn't like it.
How do Spurs play under the Zerbi?
Same as they played last season under the Zerbi.
I don't know. I feel like he was making good with what he had. I don't think
he's not playing the same way that he's not playing survival ball, which is what he had to do last year.
Precisely,
we're expecting a different setup in terms of how we approach games. I think there's definitely going to be a little bit more risk than he had taken at the end of the last season. And he said, "Look, I'm not here to play football. I'm here to make sure we stay in the Premier League." That was his objective, and he made sure that happened. He's looking to change things. Do I think he has all the personnel? No, I think most of the personnel that he does need is injured and hasn't been bought yet. Let's be honest. We still don't have a legit striker. We don't have a legit left winger. Since we've lost Harry Kane and Son, it's been almost impossible to replace those type of players because they don't come around often. And we knew there was going to be a problem. We knew they papered over the cracks for years. So for the Zerbi, it's going to be a big challenge. I think the fact that he doesn't have Europe will help, but ultimately we need to be challenging for the European spots, top 6. Realistically, I don't think there's as much pressure on him because we finished 17th twice. So even with the money we've spent, when you think about it in terms of the money we've brought back in through player sales as well, the net spend isn't as bad as it would have looked had we just bought Tonali and Fernandes and not sold anyone. But we've brought in about 5 or 6 players. 2 of them were free transfers, and 3 of them were we got one defender in Paul Van Hecker, and then as I said, Fernandes and Tonali. Robertson's come in, left back experience, will help in the dressing room, and Senesi will be a much better replacement than the Romanian guy's gone out of my head. Dragusin, that's it. Yeah. So I think he'll be a definite. It's a definite upgrade there. So we'll see. We still haven't got rid of Romero, which I think will happen. But yeah, there's still some decisions to be made.
Might be going Arsenal.
Nah. Honestly, if that story is true, he is the biggest troll on road, boy.
The only way that could be bested if he does join Arsenal, Sol Campbell's involved somehow in his unveiling.
Super agent.
I don't know how you could do that, man. That is diabolical work.
Imagine 2 captains, that would have been so mad. But yeah, we wouldn't have let it happen. We wouldn't have sold him. If he goes to Atletico Madrid and they send him to Arsenal, then it is what it is. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's destined to be a Atletico Madrid player. He fits the bill. He's right up Diego Simeone's street, and Simeone will make sure he doesn't do the foolishness that he does for us. So it's a match made in heaven, really.
Okay, so we're a bit torn then. It'll either be Liverpool or Spurs. You think will change their style the most, or not?
I think it's
more
Liverpool.
I think more Liverpool. Okay. All right. So we'll move. Rashford. Rashford is back. Well, for now, because you never know what could happen in this transfer window.
He's back at Man United right now.
He's back at Man United, and he's been given a new shirt number because Cunha's taking his number 10. So he's now 14. I posed a question out there in one of the shorts. Does he need to apologize?
Nah, bro.
Does he need to apologize to the
what?
fans? Because there's some fans that aren't happy he's coming back. Some fans feel that he disrespected them, etc., nightclubs in Ireland instead of training, all that kind of stuff, not putting a shift in, wanting to go to Aston Villa, etc. But now he's back. Does he just play on, or does he apologize and say, "I'm here. I'm a Man United fan." Da 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 da.
No,
You're a Man United fan.
I think all of that's a little bit too sensitive for my liking, to be honest. I just want to see the boy put a shirt on and go and play and score some goals. That's the biggest. That's the biggest kind of apology that I would kind of like accept. Anything else is just words.
Nothing more to add.
Yeah, literally.
So what if he scores but doesn't have the work rate like he was doing before? He was scoring before.
If he scores a hat trick,
listen,
if he scores a hat trick every single game, right? But all he does is just swan around. I'm not gonna give two.
Okay, let's tone it back. He's not going to score a hat trick every game. If he's scoring a goal every few games, but he's not putting the application in, does that have an effect? Are the fans going to be like, "Well, what's he here for?"
We've got a squad for a reason. Everyone has a role to play, and that is the reason why you have a squad, mate. You don't have.
He's got a pay rise now, though. He's even more money.
He's only got a pay rise because we're in Champions League, not because it kind of like he earned it as such. He negotiated that in his contract. What are you gonna do? We've got Champions League football. Ultimately, it's gonna pay for itself if we go for in the competition, or should I say when? So for me, it's an open whatever. You know what Champions League medal looks like? No, you don't. So
Rashford.
Well, Man United do though, and the fans.
Any of them players in that team right now.
Carrick knows. He could tell them exactly where it is 101. So it's one of them. Yeah, he could.
Cool.
But
as a manager or player,
listen, you're gonna go with me.
It's a different ballgame. I'm just saying.
You see, we do it on a recording, yeah, but now you're gonna do it on live. So now everyone's gonna see me activate.
I'm just saying.
Bro, people are here for activation, bro. What do you think?
Listen, no jokes aside, yeah. Arsenal, when it comes to Champions League, you lot just need to sit on the side and just watch TV, watch the cinema and how it's done. You lot keep on trying to get into this Champions League conversation. You're not really involved in all of that. You don't understand what it takes to get over the line. Like you, man, are nearly man. I've said that to you years ago. When you go and win a Champions League, we can.
I'm just saying, yeah. You're telling me about a Champions League that happened. How long ago was this?
But it's still a Champions League medal. It's still worth the same amount.
There's no one in your squad that is linked to that Champions League, bros.
Of course it is. The manager, bro. The guy that's leading us out.
There's no one on the pitch that's linked to that Champions League, bro. They've not gone far in the competition.
Yeah, I forgot
we don't even know if they can get out of the group stage.
We don't, and we'll find out. Just like we'll find out about Arsenal's team this season.
That's all I'm saying. We've been
it's a squad. Yeah, it's a squad. Yeah. They've changed the rules for VAR, so those that were getting the advantage last season won't maybe get it this season. So all of the playing field will be level. So as I was saying, Rashford isn't for me having to do any kind of apology. All he has to do is go out, perform, and if he gets taken off because he's not doing what he's meant to be doing, he's been well managed. If he gets left on and he's not doing what he's meant to be doing, and our results are being sacrificed on the back of it, then there's going to be questions to be asked, I guess, answered, and those will be directed at Carrick, I guess, and obviously Rashford. I just think he's been made a scapegoat, James.
Does he improve? Does he improve you?
Yeah.
Is he coming in? Does he make you better?
Yeah, naturally. He's a goal scorer. He can create chances. He's a threat. Yes, he comes with the fact that he might not necessarily track, but everyone was saying Vinicius Junior doesn't track, and then in the World Cup he was tracking. So it's like anybody can change the way they play if they have the desire to do so. So I feel like we need to wait and see what he's going to produce next season, and if that's going to be with us, brilliant. If it's not, good luck to him.
Okay, that's fair enough. Any further comments?
Not from me.
Nah.
No.
All right, cool. So we've got some new rules, some new Premier League rules. So this should be quite quick.
This is madness.
Lamont's never a fan of the Premier League rules changing,
bruh.
But first rule, the 1 minute treatment. Stop for fake. I actually like this one. Stop for fake injuries and punishment. That they have to go off. So this is down to the goalkeeper, Arsenal. So if the goalkeeper goes down and it's not a clear injury, a player now has to go off the pitch for that 1 minute. There's no goalkeeper. Goalkeeper can go down on the floor and then stay on the floor and then waste the time. If that happens now and it's obviously not a clear enough injury, there's no contact or whatever, player goes off for 1 minute instead. Do we like that change?
How do they define what a clear enough injury is? Because if you get a muscle strain, you can't prove that it's a genuine injury, can you?
It's down to the ref though now. I guess sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes you kind of know. A player throws the ball out and then within seconds is up.
Hold on 1 second, because Alisson goes down a lot with those muscle injuries.
And it comes off. It doesn't come back on again.
I know he comes off.
That's the difference though.
He's going to get treatment.
He's generally injured.
But he's going to get treatment though, right? He's not coming off straight away.
He goes off. He goes off.
But he's not. Yeah, but that's after he's got treatment. That's after assessing what's going on. They might assess it and be like, you know what? Yeah, actually, just give me some of the magic spray and he's all good. Because there is another side to this. Is that players could be injured and then they're worried if I go off, if I don't, then I'm going to put my team down to 10 men, and that could have an effect. But I don't mind, man. It's going to affect everybody, innit? Got people going like say only Arsenal were the only team that did that wasted time.
I knew that Arsenal.
No, Lamont said it.
It wasn't for you though.
I'm rebutting.
It's not just Arsenal. It's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
Because
everyone's gonna have to adapt.
Generally, it's only going to be enforced in certain moments when it's like late in a game and then it's now a time. But when teams generally do it, it's not going to be. It's very unlikely you're going to see it earlier in the game. And it's only going to happen, really. And it's not just for goalkeepers, it's for players as well. Players that do that nonsense. It's not just goalkeepers, it's players in general. And we've seen it. You kind of get the feel of the game and know when someone's genuine and when someone's not, we believe anyway. So it'll be interesting.
I mean, sometimes even with the players, like with players, if they're getting kicked and stuff like that, you see some players in the World Cup and they got kicked and they went down. They're holding their foot, and then you can see them getting up because they don't want to go off the pitch because they don't want to. But then they're getting up to limp it to run it off. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea. That's a good thing. It's a fine balance. It's a fine balance with all the football some of these players are playing, and they're talking about injuries. You could see a lot of players getting a lot more injuries than that could have been prevented or avoided.
I don't know. When we were younger, you get kicked. I say it to my son all the time, run it off, bro. Run it off, bro. What you doing? Run it off. If it hurts that bad, get off.
They weren't playing as much football as they're playing now. And their man's careers were over very quickly. You didn't see man playing over 30. 28, their man were done. All that getting kicked.
So obviously you're not a fan, you two? Not bothered?
What do you mean? Not a fan, bro.
You're not a fan either?
No.
I don't mind it.
It will be interesting to see how it's enforced.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a massive game changer, to be honest with you. The teams will always find a way to break up the game, and unfortunately, that's just how some teams will do things. I'm not pointing at Arsenal. Actually, I'm actually just pointing at teams who go to spoil games in general. We see it with teams that look to sit back, start time wasting early. They try to find ways to negate it, and most of the time, they find another way to do it.
Work around.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Oh, you don't forget, we need to give some of the chat some love though as well, yeah? Because people are commenting and they got some comments in there. So just big up to the chat.
Cool. So next one. VAR. Should they eventually review corners? We saw it in the World Cup. Should it be a case where if the attacker has the last, if the defender has the last touch, well, the attacker has the last touch, it should be given the right way through VAR. Because most of the time, these things, goal kicks aren't taken quickly. By the time the goalkeepers kick the ball, you know.
Can I stop you for a minute, James?
Yeah.
You know what VAR need to do is review themselves.
Thank you.
Straight.
Thank you. Close the book. There you go.
All these other things they keep adding, they just need to review their own, the way they work. Because at the moment, it's not working. Nobody likes it. No one. The fans, managers, players, nobody likes it. The referees are having to second guess themselves. The person in the VR room doesn't know whether to tell the ref to go to the monitor or not. There's no continuity here. So when it comes to the VAR, I'm just done. Like, honestly, they need to just figure out, go back to square one and start again. What do you actually want to gain out of using VAR? What we want to rule out silly errors. That's what we want to rule out. Goals that went in that they said they didn't go in, they need to be reviewed. Fine, but we're just getting too silly now on corners and a shirt pull, and players will do all sorts of things if they can get away with it. But there's things which are blatant, which we know are errors. Fine, but all this stuff about reviewing corners and everything else, players will always try to find a way of getting an advantage. And it's the same thing with the time wasting thing. There's always going to be teams that try to find a way of getting away with things. Where do you draw the line? If we're going to be reviewing corners, how long is that going to take? We don't know now.
Yeah, see, someone in the chat even said it, Leon. Only if you can make the decision quickly. And I'm going to caveat something you just said, yeah, about time wasting. You see all these rules, yeah? Mm-hmm. How much time do you reckon it's going to take them to come to a conclusion? Because right now we're looking at 3-4 minutes on the pitch for them just to decide if it's a flipping yellow or red card. So we're going to start talking about goal kicks, corners, throw-ins, this, that. Did he throw the plane from the top tier, or did the paper plane come from the away end? Like, it's just going to get ridiculous out there, bro.
Oh, stopping time is wild. People are missing trains home from games because of the game ain't finishing, bro. It's getting silly.
It'd be different if it was like, did the ball go over the line? That, for me, I get. Yeah, because those things, was the foul in or outside the box? Again, I agree. You know, you want to be definitive on those decisions. Was it a corner or not? Is the lino in the right position? No. So he's not in a credible position. So the next person that needs to make the decision.
What if it's on the other side, though? What if it's on the other side? The linesman can't see the other side, though.
Right, James. So if the lineman is in the wrong position, who is the official in the middle of the park? Is he not the lead guy? So he should be in a more credible position. This is the reason why the referees are meant to do a figure of 8 on the pitch, bro. Yeah? Where one lino is, the other official in the middle shouldn't be right there in his zone. They have these conversations before a match for a reason, bro. The man don't just get signed by Nike and get all the gear and get a flipping a thing on their back to see the heat map just so that Sky Sports can go and analyze where their run map was. Bro, do your job, man. You get P's, do your job. That's it. Otherwise, guess what? You see the same cars that drive people around, yeah, with nobody, like the taxis that they have that don't have anybody actually driving them. I don't know what they call them. The AI ones, yeah? They might as well do that. They might as well do that in the pitch. They might as well have no refs.
Yeah.
And just let
they had it in the World Cup, though. They had it in the World Cup where corners were overturned and it was quick. There was no long process. It was like, okay, cool. By the time we saw the replay,
of any World Cup we used it, bro.
But not for that specific thing. You're taking it to something else. For that specific thing, whenever it was a case of last touch, it was quick. But by the time we'd even seen the review, it's a corner.
Okay,
it's quick.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Do you remember who was offside? Was it Switzerland versus? Who was it, Bevan? Was it Mexico?
When they lost the, what do you call it? When the thing went down.
Yeah,
but that's different. Yeah. That's got nothing to do with Switzerland and outage.
No, it's not different. Do you know why it's not different? Because they got 3 officials on the field that should be able to make that decision decisively. That's why it's not different. Because VAR should be secondary. It shouldn't be primary. We're not paying for VAR to come and just mess up the game, bro.
See, but where I'll combat that is that didn't take forever, that one. Everyone was, the reason why people were angry is everyone said you got it wrong. That's why people were angry. It wasn't because it took long. Everyone was but that was offside. It wasn't because it took long. It was because because VAR didn't work because there was an outage in the area. It wasn't because it took too long or people in the wrong position.
I'm going to cast your mind back.
That's a different case.
Let me cast your mind back to last season, yeah? And we were discussing VAR again, right? I could talk about this all day, but we're going to have to move on.
I know.
I'm going to get mad.
It's your last point.
I despise VAR because all it does, is it makes the officials in the middle of the park reliant on technology. When realistically, when we were playing football and watching football back in the day, bro, guess what? We were relying on human brain. Is that logical? Or is it illogical? No, okay, cool. Right, you could argue that, all right, Tim Carroll was lobbed and Lampard, I think the ball went over the line. Did it go over the line? All right, cool. That's going to be a debate forever. But there's some things you just can't debate, bro. If the officials are in the right position, as they should be, because they're getting paid big P's a month, then we have the decision made on the pitch. If they can't come to a conclusion, hi, can I get a VAR check? What do they do in rugby? Because they have a very good tandem. They work together. It's a very lengthy process at times. We can't be having that in football, bro. I can't be sitting there for 3 hours wondering, you know what, Leon? I'm not going to make it to the late train tonight, you know? I'm going to have to stay at yours. I'm going to go back in the morning, bro. Because people are going to see me on the streets. If you've got a late night on Friday night in Sunderland.
What's being said in the comments is right. VAR is good, but it's not being executed properly. As well, the words were just executed horribly. And it's not consistent enough. But like Eduardo said, why does every other sport use video technology better than others? Listen, it's a matter of, for me, it's a matter of training. It's a matter, better than football. Sorry, I think it's a matter of training.
That's not entirely true.
There's different types. Obviously, it's different types. There's flaws in every sport.
American football have got like they use the video system. If they get decisions wrong all the time, it doesn't make it any better because it's still interpreted to human error. They can still make mistakes. I think the problem is the time that it takes, and where they haven't got, like when things are inconclusive or they haven't got cameras. But all of this is all there to talk about it later and to give TalkSport more airtime and Sky Sports News because they build something around it and us. So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If there weren't those mistakes, there'd be new mistakes. Don't get me wrong though. Like even there's some of it that is ridiculous. Like the when they're talking about the throw-ins and they're going to overturn it for time wasting, but then there are instances where VR takes us.
But the 5-second rule's right. Are we fine with the 5-second rule? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw it in. If not,
the principle, James. The principle.
That's not VAR. That's just a rule.
No, but the principle's fine. The principle, what they're trying to do is fine. But I can guarantee you, we're going to revisit this again in a couple of weeks' time. Not even months, weeks' time. And you go, you know what? Why did it take them 4 minutes to decide whether it was an X or not? And I'm gonna be like, bro,
or someone's gonna take 8 seconds to make a throw in or a goal kick, and it's not gonna be.
Right, last point. A question from the comments: should managers be allowed one appeal each half for decision? Quick one. Right. It's not long. We need to move on, but it's a good question. So
yes.
Should they be allowed?
Yes.
Each half, or just one per game?
No.
One per game, I think. One per game sounds a little bit more like it's not going to make the game.
We're talking about how long it takes, and we want to add another thing.
No. The appeal thing, I don't mind that because if they get the decision wrong, then you can appeal it, and then you can really put pie in their face.
If they win it, they're right. Did they keep it?
No. It's just the appeal. That's it. You've used your appeal, whether you get it or not. It's not like tennis. You don't get to keep your appeal.
And said they made a decision based on video evidence. What are they going to appeal? Oh, I want you to go look back and change your mind, please. Thanks.
And guess what? Same as what I said already. Nah, man.
All right, cool. All right, we'll move on. Liverpool. A subject some of you love talking about. Not. Jeff Bezos. It's always says Jeff Bezos because he's quote unquote the third richest man in the world. 30% minority stake. Jeff Bezos, Severin. I think I say same. Severin from Eduardo. There you go. Eduardo Severin.
What, the Facebook guy?
From Facebook. Huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, from Facebook. Yeah. And we've also got Amit Bhatia, who left QPR earlier this year. It looks like it's going to be a 6 billion takeover. No, sorry, a 1.4 billion injection of funds into Liverpool for 30%. Does a wealthy owner actually matter in modern financial rules?
Nope.
No, not anymore, as we've seen.
Or does it depend the type of club you're in? You are.
Nope, doesn't. I don't think it makes a difference. If you can't make the money on the pitch, then you can't spend it.
But for Liverpool, we do though. I think up until January 2026, we'd made more money than any other Premier League team. Obviously, Arsenal went to the league. They got Champions League final.
Numbers.
But what I'm saying is, you might make more money on the pitch, but just because you've got wealthy owners, you can't spend their money.
But could they bring in sponsors? Could the wealthy owners then bring in better sponsorship that brings more money into the club?
Potentially.
That's what it's going to be about. It's about
Potentially. Only-
them, it's about them, innit?
Again, you wanna venture into Man City territory because that's kind of what they did with the sponsorship thing. They used
Etihad.
businesses that they were involved in to.
I'm not
bring
saying
in money to
involved
the
in.
club.
I'm not saying
What?
links. As in, like,
Well,
right, perfect.
Liverpool is big enough.
Businessmen
Jeff
know
Bezos
other
is
business,
not
isn't
going to
it?
change the sponsorship game for you guys. Liverpool are a big enough team. This is more about, I guess, making FSG not be accountable for so much of the money that is either put into the club or taken out. I think for Liverpool, it will be a good thing because, as you've seen with Man United, the hope was that they would have been able to spend more money. And even though you could argue that Ineos haven't exactly changed the game completely for them, it's enabled them to spend money when they've needed to spend money and in the areas that they've needed to fix. But I don't think it's a bigger game changer for you guys because you have already been a well-run club. You've never been in a position where you are in. I've never known for Liverpool to be in financial disarray, even with all of the different.
Before
You've had American
PSG,
owners
so
before.
before FSG, we almost went down, bro. FSG saved us.
That was but that's because them Gillette guys didn't know what they were doing. They had the money, but they were doing the madness. They were supposed to fix up your stadium or make a new one. That was all just smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and
So
mirrors.
it's
The only
just the
thing-
owners themselves. But
The only
I
thing
don't think so.
that the new owners could do if they got more money is build your new stadium because that's not going to be involved in the new rules about SCR or whatever it's called.
Yeah, SCR, squad cost ratio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
then the last question: are football clubs becoming investment assets rather than football clubs now?
Oh, long time.
Long time, bro.
Not now, but even more
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, from the Glazers, man.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, them boys.
And is it ruining football?
Is it ruining football?
Football's different now. As we know, it's no longer a community thing like it used to be. It's more about commercial, but the commercial side of the game. Let's be honest. Everything is about results.
Vibration breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Everything is about results and making more money, bro. Let's be real. The more
If it-
the more successful you are, the more chances you've got of making more money, getting more fans, building a bigger brand. But yeah, it's long gone from the sort of grassroots community aspect of it. Like, it's too expensive for fans to go to games now. You're literally looking at going to women's matches, lower league teams to actually get a real feel for
Football.
It's changed
in
now.
in a stadium. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to echo that, I think also it's just I feel like the football governing body hasn't necessarily evolved. Like they're not moving as quickly as the investors are moving to try and take over the big teams. So, there's a huge gap.
Well, bruvs.
Okay.
Look what FIFA just tried to do, bruvs.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
There you go.
Well, hopefully this will change things because at the moment, as been said in the comments, Man United are the biggest commercial club in the world. Hopefully, Bezos and Co will make us the biggest commercial club in the world.
That's not what the comment says. That's not what the comment
Watch this space. Watch this space. All right, cool. We'll move. We'll move on to the weekend, or tomorrow, in fact. We'll move on to tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't want to run over time. So we'll move on to tomorrow. PSG versus Aston Villa. Like a lot of PSG's players have only literally just come back for this week to preseason. Are we going to see much of a match tomorrow? Obviously, you played them, Lamont, over the weekends. You played PSG. Man United drew 1-1 with PSG. Some of the players came on, Coutinho and the likes came on off the bench. But a lot of people said that Man United were the better team.
Yeah, we were the better team, but PSG were almost like
playing kids.
Couldn't really recognize it. No, you couldn't recognize them in comparison to last season. But again, they're not playing as many games as you do in England. They've been given a bit more of a break in regards to going back into preseason. So some of their bigger names, some of the starters, they're not even back yet. Some of them. So are you going to see a different squad go out against Villa? I would say so. I feel like when they played against us, respectively, they probably played a little bit with the handbrake on because they want they can see a trophy opportunity next week, why spoil it for a friendly? Because I wouldn't be, to be honest. I wouldn't be trying to get injured. Don't get me wrong. You don't want the players to be thinking like that, but if you're looking at trophies, Snapdragon trophies and, all the others like that, you want to make sure that you're ready to play.
Can we not let him get away with that?
What's the Snapdragon trophy?
Not let him get away with that.
I've never heard of it. What is it?
I'll finish my segment anyway. Go on.
No, truthfully, what's Snapdragon trophy?
You never heard of it?
The Emirates Cup, bro. Audi Cup. Them cups there.
It's better than the Audi Cup and it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
So the even teenier pot of tin pot trophies.
No, it's not a tin pot one. It's actually it's solid gold bullion. It's gold bullion. It's about that big. I can't even get it. I can't even show you on the screen because the camera is a bit too close.
Them copper.
Did you win it because you drew with PSG? Imagine.
No.
No, they won it.
We beat Atletico, innit? We thumped them up. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, just to answer your question, yeah, PSG were playing with the handbrake on, in my opinion. I feel like they had this game in their sight. So I imagine that they'll set out to turn Villa over and kind of go from there. But yeah, Villa, yeah, they've been... Yeah.
It's not a strong Villa either. Villa have lost some key players.
Yeah, it's not a strong
Villa.
Villa.
Come on. Snapdragon Cup, the biggest preseason cup in the world. Come on. This person must be related to Lamont.
What do you mean? He knows what he's talking
about.
He knows what he's talking about. Clearly, the geezer's well in the know.
Hey, mate.
Imagine that's the only comment that you stopped even saying what you was gonna say and go, "What?"
Because I looked at it and I was like, "What is going on here?"
Basically, what United are saying is, if Carlsberg could make preseason trophies, the Snapdragon Cup would probably be the best preseason cup in the world. We are talking about preseason right now, not last season. Preseason
season
terrible.
Starts when you want it to, innit?
Okay,
I guess.
Yeah, but when Arteta said
for Villa
the trophy, you got laughed at the building, which he should have done. But you was one doing the laughing months. Now it's the Snapdragon trophy. I see what's going on there.
So for Villa, this is massive for them. I can't remember if they have ever been in Super Cup. When they won it years ago, if it was running, when they won the cup years and years ago. But is it going to be a big game for them? Do you think they'll see it as an extended preseason?
No, it's a big game for Villa, man. It was a big game for Spurs last year, and PSG were pedestrian in the first half.
So close,
and then, boy, let them back in it after being 2 goals down. I think if Villa start off well and they get an early goal, they'll have a chance. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that PSG are going to actually wipe the floor with them. I think they've had a lot of players at the World Cup. There's still, players coming back late from pre-season. So for me, I think PSG will do it, but I think it will be a lot closer game than people think it will be.
Okay. All right, cool. We move on to the weekend. Bevan, your boys are in action. Back-to-back defeats. Yeah. Losing the Emirates Cup. What is it? What does it say? Emirates Cup made by Arsenal, lost by Arsenal. Thanks, Vicky. So that
why was there penalties when you lost?
They had
there's always penalties, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's always penalties at the end.
Okay.
They don't do that in the Snapdragon.
Plus, we were robbed anyway. Should have been an equaliser.
I think Chelsea had an issue with that. They had penalties agreed, and every team walked off and did a penalty shootout.
There was problems at the end of that game, though, weren't there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, Man City versus Arsenal. Community Shield. Does it matter to you? Does it bother you if you win or lose that game?
Not really. The Community Shield's a weird one. Like you want to win it, but like losing it is a problem. But then if you win it, who cares? And we've seen in recent years teams that have won it, and it doesn't really mean anything for their season at all. I remember the game where Liverpool signed Nunez and Man City signed Haaland in their first game, and Nunez scored, and everyone's thinking, "Oh, we got the better end of this deal." And
everyone,
so
like a 0.0.11 of people.
No, there were people that when we talk about
there were some saying
there were fans
we had the better one.
Yeah, there are fans that look at the guy that we signed, and what does it really mean? You just want to see how your team plays football, really, and hopefully nobody gets. I've got nothing really invested in this Charity Shield. Sometimes I wish we didn't have to play it.
Bevan, can I just ask? Do you need a hammer to kind of fix the fence that you're on, or?
I just told you I don't care.
I'm just saying.
What part of I don't care did you not understand?
I don't believe you.
I don't care. I haven't cared about pre-season. I've said it all pre-season. I don't care. I just want the league to start. My word. What am I supposed to say? I do care if we lose.
But you do.
Should it be replaced?
What, the Community Shield?
Should it be replaced with like an all-star? The best of the south of England versus the best of the north of England.
That would be a good
if
crack.
If no one really cares about it, should it be like an all-star game? Or would clubs not want to risk their players a week before the season starts?
No way. No way.
I don't think clubs are going to want to risk to playing their players in that kind of game there.
They should play it. There's nothing wrong with the Community Shield. It's been a tradition for
I like
long.
it.
Yeah.
Huh?
So I like it. I like Community Shield. We lost it last year, but we actually played well. It didn't bode well for our season in a whole, but we actually played well. Ekitike came in, and we were like, okay, cool. He's good. Sometimes it gives you a little. It's better than some people think, kind of thing. Yeah, a little insight. That's the word.
Hey man, it gives the opportunity for certain players who may not be guaranteed to start the chance to put their best foot forward. You never know what can happen. So I think it's a good curtain raiser for the season. It's a match that people will be looking forward to watching. I certainly will be interesting to see how Man City will fare with their new manager, and whether Arsenal go to be a little bit more expansive than we saw them be last season, especially towards the end when they were obviously trying to get over the line. It'll be interesting to see if Arteta switches things up a little bit and they end up a little bit more expansive. So we'll see.
If City, it's very unlikely hammering, but if City were to win, say 3-0 or 4-1 or something like that, does it matter?
No,
it doesn't. But you know,
The
fans
scoreline.
already.
No, it
Fans
doesn't.
will react because
They'll react. But I've seen Arsenal give Man United a hiding on a Charity Shield, and it meant nothing towards the seat when the season happened. Absolutely zero. Like I've seen my team. Go on.
Why do you have to do that? Why can't you name any other side? Why does it have to be my side? Just name any other type. There's another 19 teams, bro. Why you have to name mine?
Because that's the one that was the one I could remember. Since we're going back in the Wayback Machine, I thought I'd go back in it too.
You like to troll me. You're legitimately trying to troll me.
It didn't mean anything. So like, don't get me wrong. Like a couple of seasons ago, when Arsenal won it, I was happy that Arsenal won it. But again, for the league, it meant nothing. It meant absolutely nothing.
Fair enough. I was going to leave this one off, but we've kind of pivoted to it anyway. So it won't be a long one. So with everything that's been said, does preseason even matter?
Yeah, it's important for players to get ready for the season, bro. Preseason is not important in terms of results, but it is important for the manager to start working out how he's going to play, how he's going to play.
Sorry, does preseason form matter? Does preseason form matter?
No, I think
form matter.
I think I can't remember. I think I was a manager today talking about how they lost every single preseason match and they end up getting promoted. It doesn't matter. It just depends on, like, obviously it looks good. There was a season where Tottenham won every single preseason game, and then we lost the first 6 games of the season, and one day one match got sacked quickly, and we brought Harry Redknapp in. So for me, no, it don't matter.
Anyone else? Is it about tactical patterns and getting players up to full fitness? Because look, listen, for me, I've seen Liverpool have 2 really good first halves, 2-0 up, and then think to myself, oh, yeah, I'm liking what Iraola's bringing. And then we've made changes, and we've lost 4-2 and 3-2 after being 2-0 up. It's annoying, but I get it. I get our first team did well, and it just showed me that our bench isn't really cutting it.
You want to see the only good thing about preseason is you might see a youngster that you're not used to seeing. You might see your team playing a certain type of football. You might see how your team are playing, exactly how the second team are playing. Because in these games that Arsenal have played, there's been a lot of players that have been missing. And some of these experiments that they've tried hasn't necessarily worked. And I can see that happening this weekend as well. It's going to be a similar kind of formation. Maybe Bruno Gomes starts, maybe he doesn't. But you don't. All you want to see is how your team may set out to play the season. That's what you can take from it. You can't really take anything else. And even then, they could be amazing, and when it really gets going,
yeah,
they're awful.
Lose every game in preseason and then win their first 6. You know what I mean? Like, it can easily happen. I mean, I think 2 people in the chat, McGoggan's gone and said, as long as the patterns of play are developing, the understanding and the fitness, that's what preseason is about. And Vicky just says preseason is purely a look at the squad players and formations.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay. Thanks, guys. And thanks for all of you in the chat. Really appreciate your input. Don't forget, if you haven't, to like. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe as well. But that's it for tonight. We've covered new managers. We've covered Rashford returning, rule changes. We've covered VAR, which we have now fully established that Lamont is a big, big hater of it. Despises VAR. And we've also talked about preseason and the Community Shield and the Super Cup. So yeah, thanks for watching. Once again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification button. This has been Armchair Pundits. Take it easy, guys. We will be back next week. Look out for the posters, for the flyers, for what we're going to put out for when we'll be back. But most likely next week, Tuesday. Again, peace out.
Peace.
See you later.